Welcome to drillingcontractor.org. Here with me today at the 2014 IADC Drilling Onshore Conference is Bill Tanner, VP of Government and Regulatory Affairs at the IADC. Thank you so much for joining me.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So what do you see for the midterm of 2014, and how will that impact IADC's legislative program?
Well, the action right now in Congress is really in gridlock because the Senate is controlled by Democrats and the House is controlled by Republicans. And so we're not seeing a lot in the way of major legislation coming out of Congress. Now, for the midterm elections in November, we see the potential of the Senate flipping over to Republican control. So you set up a dynamic now where you have the House and the Senate controlled by Republicans, the administration controlled by Democrats. So we probably see a continuation of the gridlock at the congressional level, which means that the action really is going to be in the regulatory arena, and that's really where we're seeing the bulk of our activity and workload for IADC in Washington, D.C.
You spoke about the social cost of carbon in your presentation. So what is that, and how does that impact our members?
You know, that's a very interesting conversation that's occurring in Washington among the regulators. The social cost of carbon is a initiative by the administration to affix a dollar price to a ton of carbon. So if you're emitting carbon in any form, that the current price for a ton of carbon under this proposal is $40. So you will have to now build that into your business plan, because at some point you either get a credit for that or you're going to have to pay for it. So it's a large issue. It's an issue that's gone largely unnoticed by industry, but it's beginning to show up in various regulatory proposals and final rules. In fact, the EPA, I think at last count, we've seen the social cost of carbon show up in about 30 different EPA regulatory proposals. Again, this is an effort by the administration to focus on climate change. This is one aspect of the climate change discussion, and at some point there'll have to be some greater clarity on just how much this is going to cost our IDC members. That analysis is underway.
Well, thank you so much for the update.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much for joining us on drillingcontractor.org.